more terrifying than senseless murder. One that comes without warning and without motive. In the summer of 1985, Southern California was held hostage by a rabid creature of the night, a phantom killer who cloaked himself in darkness as he perpetuated a series of grisly murders. He wore black, gravitated towards shadows purposely. He exploited the night. He wrapped it around himself.
On July 27, 1984, in Glassell Park, a small community northeast of Los Angeles, his first known victim was Jenny Vincow. Her age was 79. In the still of the night, he removed the screen to her apartment and silently entered. While investigators were preparing the body for the morgue, they discovered a key piece of evidence, a fingerprint. But in 1984, fingerprints were not as useful as they are today. Then, they could only help link a suspect to a crime after he was identified. The Night Stalker cruised the freeways, listening to heavy metal and looking for a victim. His second murder occurred on March 17, 1985.
She was driving on the freeway and the killer followed her home.
But Marie Hernandez got a good look at the killer as he flew out of the house. She described him as tall, dark, and Hispanic. It was a huge break for the police. At about 1 a.m. that same night, with his adrenaline pumping, the Phantom found another young woman. This one was driving on the San Bernardino freeway. Her name was Tsai Lin Yu. He followed her off the freeway. She pulled over, asked him why he was trailing her, and threatened to call the police. The stalker immediately forced his way into her car, shot her dead, and vanished. But again, he left some critical evidence. The sheriff's office recovered similar bullet casings from each of the murder scenes that night and decided to run tests. On May 14, 1985, in the city of Monterey Park, William Doy was murdered by a gunshot to the head. Lillian, his invalid wife, was restrained by thumb cuffs and raped. After her ordeal, she described the killer as a tall, Hispanic man dressed in black, who had bad teeth. And at the scene, the killer unwittingly left the police another tantalizing clue. The brand name of the shoe was Avia. Detective Salerno ran a check on the sole pattern and found that only one pair of shoes of that pattern and size had been sold in the Los Angeles area. Ironically, this devil had started out as something of an angel.
He was brought up to be a devout Catholic like his mother. Growing up, he assisted his two brothers with their schooling. He protected them from bullies in school. When his brothers were put into a slow learners class, they fell prey to a teacher that was a child molester. The teacher visited the boys while the parents were away. Richard never admitted to being molested, but his brothers felt that he had also been molested. These events led to his experimenting with smoking marijuana and sniffing glue. When he was 11, his cousin Miguel helped destroy any innocence that remained.
I already told you about my war days. This is me and my outfit, my buddies, Vietnam. Some other brothers from the troop. And this is why I love this one. These females right here, just stop playing with them. They let us do whatever they want. We wanted with them. Even if they were crying, they still took it. See that? That was the fun part. Taking them, ripping them apart, just cutting them, seeing them bleed. You know, and you know how we do this? This puppet right here. Just take it, stab it inside. Here, and then we get back to, you know, they scared, and then just cut them and
after a fight with his wife, Mike graphically demonstrated his teachings while the 11-year-old watched.
I'm hungry. When's the food delivery ready?
It's almost ready.
How long is it going to take? We've been waiting. Me and Richie have been waiting all damn day. I don't even know where the hell you were at.
I was running errands.
You
What were
can't
you
be leaving
doing?
him alone.
I'm
think there's
cooking
like,
and
I'm not in
cleaning.
charge of this.
I'm cooking and cleaning.
That's
I
not
can't
good
do
to
it
me.
all. You know what?
Then what am I waiting for?
Get out of my face.
You're no good to me.
You know what? I can't say.
On July 20th, 1985, the same night he brutally killed Max and Layla Knighting, Ramirez entered the home of an Asian couple, Chanarong Hovananth and his wife Samkid. He killed Chanarong, his 10th victim, and raped his wife. He left her alive, but, as in 5 of his previous murders, he'd left shoe prints from his unique Avia sneakers. On August 8, 1985, Ramirez drove 30 miles from downtown Los Angeles to the city of Diamond Bar.
Hi, can I have a cab to work in Broadway?
He then entered the house of Elias Abawath and his wife Sakina. While their 3-year-old slept, he murdered Elias and repeatedly raped his wife. Before he left, he calmly ate a melon he found in the refrigerator. This was his 13th murder. With the growing hysteria, Ramirez knew it was time to get out of town. He ditched the stolen car and took a Greyhound bus to Arizona. But he left town without knowing a crucial clue had been left behind. The night of the crime, a teenager outside, fixing his bike, had seen him.
He saw this guy drive by that looked just like this composite sketch of the Night Stalker. And the kid got the license plate number. The police suddenly had the license plate number of the car the guy was in.
They found the abandoned car in Orange County. While processing it, they discovered a clue on the rear-view mirror. Finally, California's new fingerprinting system had now come online. When the fingerprint was processed, it matched the prints of a petty thief who had stolen a car in 1984 and spent 6 months in jail. The cloak of darkness in which he had hid himself was now torn off. The Night Stalker finally had a name: Richard Ramirez.